For decades, the Klingon Empire has stood as one of the most enduring and complex powers in the Star Trek universe, warriors bound by honor, ritual, and a brutal code that prizes strength above all else. Yet in recent Star Trek storytelling, a far darker trajectory for the Empire has begun to emerge, one that reframes Klingon glory as something far more fragile, even tragic. The dark fate of the Klingons is not a single catastrophic event, but a slow unraveling from within. Once unified under the iron will of emperors and high councils, the Empire now appears increasingly fractured. Internal political rivalries, shifting alliances, and the erosion of traditional warrior values have left Klingon society less like a conquering force and more like a civilization struggling to define its identity in a changing galaxy. What makes this evolution particularly unsettling is how deeply it contradicts Klingon mythology. The Empire was built on the idea that honor creates strength. The newer portrayals suggest the opposite, that the rigid pursuit of honor has become a weakness, exploited by enemies and internal opportunists alike. Houses compete not just in battle, but in manipulation, economic power, and ideological purity, turning Klingon culture inward on itself. Even the once unshakable warrior ethos is showing cracks. Younger Klingons question whether endless conflict truly serves their people, while traditionalists double down on increasingly desperate displays of aggression. The result is a civilization pulled in two directions, one clinging to ancient conquest, the other quietly acknowledging that survival may require evolution rather than domination. The Federation, long both adversary and uneasy ally, watches this transformation with cautious concern. A destabilized Klingon empire is not merely a political shift, it is a potential galactic fault line. When a warrior society built on hierarchy begins to lose its center, the vacuum can lead to either reform or collapse. Perhaps the darkest implication is that the Klingon Empire's fate is not defeat by an external enemy, but self-destruction born of its own ideals. The very code that once made Klingons unstoppable may now be what undoes them. In this emerging vision of the galaxy, the Klingons are no longer just fearsome warriors or honorable rivals. They are a civilization at a crossroads, fighting not for conquest, but for coherence. And whether they evolve or fracture may determine not only their future, but the balance of power across the entire quadrant.